All right, so you want to make a logo? Huh.
Yeah, looks like we're diving into logo design this time.
Well, you came to the right place.
We did find some really interesting stuff,
Oh,
actually.
yeah.
Yeah, a conversation, actually, between two designers, Sarah and Mike.
Okay, so like from a designer's perspective.
Exactly. It's like getting a sneak peek behind the curtain.
Perfect. So we're talking logo design briefs then, right?
That's the mission.
Uh-huh.
What goes into making a good one and why it matters so much.
Cool. So what'd they have to say? Spill the tea?
Well, they really emphasize that a good brief is like the foundation for everything.
Okay, so it's more than just like, hey, make me a logo.
Oh, yeah, way more. It's about setting up a good collaboration between you and the designer.
So both sides are happy with the final result.
Exactly. Mike had a great way of putting it. He said it's like a blueprint.
A blueprint.
Yeah, it's something you and the designer can build from together, you know.
I like that. So where do you even start with a logo design brief?
Well, Mike was really big on clarity. Yeah, like being super clear about what you want.
Okay, so I guess it's not enough to just say, I want a logo that looks cool.
Right. You got to go deeper than that.
So how do you do that?
It's about figuring out your brand's personality. Like, what are 3 words that sum it up? What's the one key message your logo absolutely has to convey?
So it's not just about visuals.
No, it's about the feeling you want to evoke, the story you want to tell.
Okay, I'm starting to get it. Do you have any examples?
Oh, yeah. So Sarah was talking about this client who wanted a logo for a new coffee shop.
Okay, what kind of vibe were they going for?
At first, they just said make it modern and cool. But then they started talking more about their values.
Values?
Yeah, things like sustainability, community, using locally sourced beans, you know.
Oh, so it became more than just a coffee shop.
Exactly. And that changed the entire direction of the logo design.
So you got to really understand the why behind the what.
Exactly. It's about uncovering those deeper layers. And once you have that, then you can start thinking about the nitty-gritty details.
You mean things like colors and fonts and stuff?
Yep. Those are like the building blocks of your logo.
Okay, so what do I need to know about those?
Well, think about what kind of style you're drawn to. Like, do you prefer something classic and elegant?
Or maybe something more bold and modern.
Yeah, exactly. If you have specific examples you like, share them with your designer. Sarah mentioned how much she loves the Patagonia logo. You know, the one with the mountains and the handwritten font.
Yeah, I know that one.
She said having those visual references really helps the designer understand what you're going for.
Makes sense. But how do you give those kind of guidelines without, being too bossy?
That's a good question. It's all about finding the right balance.
Balance between what?
Between giving enough direction, but also leaving room for the designer's creativity.
So how do you do that?
Mike used this analogy I really liked. He said it's like providing the ingredients, but letting the chef create the masterpiece.
I like that. So you're trusting their expertise.
Exactly. And speaking of expertise, something else Mike and Sarah were super passionate about is knowing your audience.
Oh, yeah, your target customer.
Yep. They were saying how often people overlook that part.
But why is it so important?
Because your logo needs to resonate with the people you're trying to reach. It's like speaking their visual language.
So different audiences, different logos.
Absolutely. Like, imagine you're designing a logo for a high-tech gaming company.
Okay, I'm picturing something futuristic and edgy.
Right. You might use bold fonts, neon colors, maybe some cool graphics that appeal to a younger crowd.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But if you're designing for a luxury skincare brand, you'd probably go for something totally different.
More like elegant and minimalist.
Exactly. Something that conveys sophistication and quality to a more mature audience.
Wow, it really is all about speaking to your ideal customer, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
And you know what else you should consider?
What's that?
The competition.
Ah, right. What are other brands in your space doing?
Mike and Sarah said that researching competitor logos can be a gold mine of inspiration.
So it's not about copying, it's about learning from what's already out there.
Right. Like, let's say you're launching a new eco-friendly clothing line. Take a look at the big players in that space.
What kind of logos do they have?
Are they using minimalist designs? Earthy colors?
Hmm.
Bold patterns? Understanding their strategies helps you figure out how to stand out.
To make your brand unique.
Exactly. And that brings us to the practical stuff. Timeline and budget.
Oh, yes. The less glamorous but equally important part.
Oh, absolutely. Mike said something that really stuck with me.
What was that?
He said, imagine trying to build a house without a budget or a timeline.
It'd be a disaster.
Total chaos, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's the same with logo design. Being upfront about your budget and timeline helps everyone stay on track.
And avoid any surprises down the line.
Exactly. Plus, it allows the designer to create something amazing within realistic parameters.
Okay, so to recap, what are the key ingredients of a killer logo design brief?
Well, first, you got to be crystal clear about your brand's essence, its personality, and its core values.
Right, like those three words and that one key message we talked about.
Yep. Then you want to provide those visual details, like colors, fonts, and styles you like, but without being too restrictive.
Leave room for that chef's magic, right?
Exactly. And of course, you have to know your audience, who you're trying to reach with your logo, and how that might influence the design.
And don't forget to scope out the competition, see what they're doing, and figure out how you can stand out.
Absolutely. And last but not least, be upfront about your budget and your timeline.
Practicalities matter. So, there you have it. That's how you create a logo design brief that'll set you up for success.
Nailed it. And you know what?
Okay.
These principles apply to way more than just logo design. Think about it. Clear communication is key in any project, right?
Totally. Whether you're explaining something at work or even just telling a good story.
Right. Being able to convey your ideas in a clear and concise way will always serve you well.
I love that. And hey, if you're feeling inspired to create a logo, Mike mentioned Fiverr.
Oh, yeah. It's a great platform for finding talented designers.
Might be worth checking out.
For sure.
All right, well, that's our deep dive into the world of logo design briefs. We learned a lot from Sarah and Mike, and hopefully you did too.
Until next time.
See ya.